The Purple Heart is awarded to members of the armed forces who, while serving, have been wounded, were killed, or who have died or may die of wounds received, according to the United States Army. Mendell, Schelin, and Roden are two men who received a Purple Heart from their time in Vietnam. Fox 14's Jack Kessler spoke to both men and has more as we honor our hometown heroes.
I stepped on a booby trap during one of our day patrols.
I don't know if it's ironic, lucky, but I was wounded by a hand grenade, shrapnel, and the guy who was going to replace me had actually been out with us in the field for over a week, so my replacement was there.
After finishing high school, Roden joined the United States Marine Corps in September 1967, and on Valentine's Day 1968 was in Vietnam.
I did a lot of stuff in Vietnam, but I wound up staying there about 4 months. As soon as I got over there, I started really using the laws, carrying the M72 anti-tank law, one-shot grenade launcher, and I carried 3 of those at the time when I was over there. And I had another special duty that I was involved in. I had volunteered to be a tunnel rat.
Schelin graduated from high school in 1968 and would enlist in the U.S. Army in August the same year. He passed the test to go to officer candidate school and in July of 1969 graduated from there.
I was a second lieutenant, and in September of '69 I found myself in Vietnam. That was my first duty assignment after officer candidate school. Brand new second lieutenant in the field artillery, so I'm assigned to an infantry company as their forward observer.
Both men talked about going from the States to the country of Vietnam.
And there were a lot of rice paddies as well that we crossed and went through, as well as jungles. But you know, really, you just had to really watch where you're going through. You know, you're on the patrols and make sure you didn't step on something you weren't supposed to.
It was just the heat and humidity. I mean, it's dry and warm here, but the heat and humidity, I mean, you could really work up a sweat in a hurry over there, so without really having to try too hard.
Both veterans speak on what it means for people to come up and say thanks to them now.
I'll wear my hat, and the people say, "Oh, you're a veteran." Say, "Well, thank you for your service." No, I'll always answer them with "proudly served," because you know that's how I feel. You
know, it does make you feel good, and I am very proud of what I did, and you know, served my country, and that's sort of what I was brought up and taught, you know, from my dad being a World War II veteran. And but I think it was a little bit too late in a way for Vietnam veterans, because you know we weren't welcomed home hardly at all. And but I'm glad things have changed.
In Amarillo, Jack Kessler, Fox 14 News.
Both men are members of the Military Order of the Purple Heart Chapter 553, which help the junior ROTC programs in the area. They also provide financial assistance to the Thomas E. Creek Veterans Hospital's Community Living Center to provide recreational opportunities for the residents and help the VA's efforts to identify and aid homeless veterans with their clothing, room, and with a program called Housing First.